What's up, guys? Dirty Bob, honest review, coming at you guys right now. So, this game had a lot of potential when I first started playing it. I had a lot of fun, to be honest. I played it every day, and that is not a common thing for me to do. Actually, I never do that, and that means this game is doing something right. Now, what I love about this game is it merges two of my favorite games, Team Fortress 2 with Counter-Strike. Now, so many things about this game remind me of these different things. Now, this game is generally played with many of the Counter-Strike additives to it. It is pretty much a Counter-Strike clone. It's just more cartoony and casual, and that's where I add the TF2 feature to it. Now, what parts of this game remind me of Counter-Strike? Overall, just the average gameplay of it. You hip fire because aiming down sights really does not add anything to the game. If you want to do it, go for it. But for the most part, it's all about precision. It's all about bursting, managing recoil, getting headshots, and getting the kills. That is something you do in Counter-Strike. Above that, it's heavily based around the competitive scene. Now, this game, you can play casual game types. There's objective and different things that you can play. But for the most part, during this, it's just something you do to warm up or just shoot the shit or mess around. Competitive is the draw to this game, much like Counter-Strike Go and the other titles in that franchise. So that's where this game is going to get its leverage. That's where its popularity is going to come into play. On top of that, there are different player cards with different perks possible to roll on those player cards. There are different rarity levels, much like you'd see out of your Counter-Strike with your field-tested guns, so on and so forth, all the way up to factory new. There are characters with lead, iron, bronze, silver, gold, and cobalt scaling up just like that. So why this is important is just like Counter-Strike in TF2 where there are cases, keys, rarities, different, so on and so forth. You can actually pay to buy cases. They give you increased odds at getting some of these higher grade bronze, silver, gold, and cobalt cards that allow you to have, new player skins, different, paint jobs on the gun, so on and so forth. Those things are appealing to people. You can see the amount of money that Counter-Strike generates in just case openings and stuff like that. TF2 has now adopted that too because of that free-to-play model has been so destructive, and they have in fact adopted it for this game, so people play the hell out of that. Cases do drop at random just like they do in the other two games, and that is definitely a big draw for people. It gets them addicted and they start playing it, and it's a brilliant method that people use. Highly, I guess, distasteful in my mind because you're playing on addiction and gambling, but that's for another story. But for the most part, it's a great method. It's proven to be very, very good at earning money, and that is why they've adopted it in this. And of course, you can use in-game currency to purchase the cheaper end cases, the equipment cases, which are the ones that could drop randomly from the game. And those are only 1,000 in-game currency, which is very easy to get. You can play a couple hours and be able to get 5 cases like it's nothing, whether it's from drops or buying them yourself from the in-game currency earned. But overall, that's great. Now, the catch to this is that you can earn and generate this in-game currency quite easily. And that's one of the best parts about this game. This game is by no means, even though it is a free-to-play, it is not a pay-to-win. You get 2 of the best characters in the game from launch that are free to play for everybody, 3 that are on rotation that change every week, and in a game where there's only 14 playable characters, you get a good taste to try these each week. So that's good and exciting as well, plus those player cards you earn from the equipment cases also can stack onto those ones that you can play throughout the rotations. So in the end, this game is more of a grind to win than a pay to win. Buying characters and stuff like that are generally not going to enhance your experience. I know people that can use the base characters and dominate the game. The catch in competitive is you can take 3 different types of characters in, and you'll see me rotate throughout this game to change my character up. I can take, a dangerous character and an objective specialist and maybe a sniper into my game where my other teammates are more stacked with healers and stuff like that. You can pick your 3, and upon death, switch between any one of the 3 playable characters. And that's a very, very cool aspect too. On top of that, with the 14 playable characters in the game, they each have their own unique abilities, healths, so on and so forth, weapons that they can use. And because of this, that's where the TF2 feature kind of comes in. You have your guy that has your sentry, you have your kind of heavy with the rhino, you have your objective specialist which can repair, defuse, and arm objectives quicker than others. You have proximity mines, you have explosive characters to take out the objective EVs, which are the objective classes, these armored vehicle that you have to escort from A to B throughout the objective game types. So there are different playable characters in this game. You have your snipers, your tanks, your objectives, your healers, your ammo suppliers. You have all of those, which are something you would see out of something like Team Fortress 2 or even like a Battlefield or something, that they have this addition to the objective game type and play for this game. So overall, this game has got a lot going for it. Its potential is extremely high. So where are the flaws? There are a couple. Weapon and character balancing, when you have this many type of characters and you're trying to mix it up, you're bound to have a couple overpowered characters, and some of them are pretty obvious. Phantom has the ability to go invisible, has an extremely low cooldown, gets tankier while he's invisible, is extremely hard to see, and he also has a katana knife that he can roll on one of his player cards that can one-shot many of the more valuable characters in this game. Plus, he also has guns, which everybody else has. So in the end, that's a slightly overpowered character. There are a couple others that are kind of on that line, that are borderline, but again, it's still a beta. Those have plenty of time to work and iron those flaws out. But for the most part, the major flaw comes in the fact that this game is completely riddled with hackers. And I'll give you a story real quick. Now, I had the luxury of sitting down and talking to a hacker. It has in-game voice activity. So I was able to actually have a conversation with one that was on my team once, and he was a nice guy, outside of the part where he was being a douche and hacking, and he was telling me that he wasn't even playing, that he had an aimbot that literally did everything for him. He could farm, if you will, and he could set it up so that it could target feet, body, or headshot, so it's less conspicuous. When he's hacking and he's aimbotting, he tells me what it can do, and he knows that he can just AFK farm. And why you do this, like I said, the in-game currency is slightly easy to build up, and you can unlock these playable characters or cases to roll. So he literally doesn't even have to participate, and he can build all this stuff up and unlock all the characters for free. And now that this is becoming more and more popular, more and more well-known, more and more hackers are using this to their advantage, and they're not even bothering playing. They're just going to grind, get all the characters unlocked, and then they can play legit when they have everything at their disposal. So this is becoming a mainstream thing in this game, and it's actually killing the game before it's even coming to launch, because I know as it stands right now, I don't even want to give the game a chance in the full release, because the beta is completely unplayable, because I feel it's every other game that I'm dealing with a hacker, and it's pretty bad. I also saw something that in my 20 years of gaming I have never seen before while playing this game. There was actually a hacker encouraging other people to use his hack. He was claiming to be the developer of this certain aimbot, and I've never seen that before. And at first glance, I'm like, there's no way this is true. I went to the website he linked, and it was in fact a hack. Somebody else ended up using it. It was just crazy. What was so weird about this, at first I was like, there's no way he's going to do this, but what hacker in his right mind is usually going to admit it? Some do, some are just blatant and just assholes, like, yeah, do something about it, you can't do anything. This game does not have any protection against hackers, so people just run free with it. And he was actually promoting his own bot. So at first I was like, there's no way this is actually true, but most hackers are not going to give other people the same thing they use because it's helping them gain further, you know what I mean? It'll be cutting into their, you know, earnings. So I'm like, legit ran into a guy that developed a hack for the game and was handing it out. Like, here, piece of candy. So it was kind of like, alright, well that was something new for me. But that's exactly how obvious and how just riddled this game is with hackers right now. So at the first start of the game, when the game was first out in the first month, all these game developers and all these people and websites were giving this game great reviews, saying the game is amazing. I stick by it. It's got insane potential. A game that has so many things adopted from other games. It could be an extremely successful game. It could eventually be ported over to console. It has so much to go with. It has insane potential, and I hate the fact that it's being overrun by hackers, because that's just going to kill the game before it's even launched, because people are not going to give it a fair shake when it is actually in full release, and hopefully it has protection at that time. So, my overall verdict of the game. Now that a couple months have been around, now that there's more hackers, the game is currently in its state unplayable. I would not recommend it. I put 60 bucks of my own money into this game to try to unlock the starter pack and get used to some of the characters to kind of understand how they work. And it was money that I would really, really like to have back, because at this state, I just don't even find myself wanting to play the game anymore. So fair warning to those playing it, if you get in a good lobby and there are no hackers, it's a great game. But good luck in letting that happen. So until the full game launches, until there is protection for this game, it definitely is falling on its heels. Now, the problem with this is it does have that potential. So overall, I would give this game a steady 7.5. if hacking was not plaguing their game. So in the end, it does have potential. It is a great game, and it's a free-to-play, not a pay-to-win, which is so overrun in the marketplace nowadays that that is a refreshing thing to see and hear. So that's partially what the attraction of this game is knowing that it is a free-to-play game that you really never have to invest any money into, and you can still have just as much level playing field as everyone else competing. And that's what I adore about this game. It's something that many other free-to-plays do not take into consideration. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. Again, play at your own risk. when it does have protection and the game can run flawlessly without hackers, it's going to be a dominating force. I can't wait to see it evolve if that does become a thing, and I will definitely be back on Dirty Bomb when that does become a reality. So thank you guys for your time. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below about other games you would like to see me give an honest review about, and I'm going to go hang out and get a sub. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm about to go get fat. Yeah.